everyone, I'm Kevin here with JcrOffroad. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to install the engine cover on the 2-liter and 1.5-liter engine platforms in the Ford Maverick and Bronco Sport. So here we have the 1.5-liter and 2-liter engine covers. They are slightly different, but very similar. They're going to install exactly the same, with the only real variation being that the 1.5-liter will have 3 mounting brackets and the 2-liter will have 4. So we're going to show you kind of the mounting bracket orientation on each engine cover and how they get installed to the cover, as well as the little bit of work you have to do on the engine itself. So with our 2-liter engine cover off to the side, I've got the 1.5-liter cover here along with the 3 mounting brackets that go with that. So we'll show you at this time kind of how to get them installed on here, as well as the rubber grommets that need to be installed into those brackets. So here we have the 3 mounts that go along with this 1.5-liter cover. They are all numbered 1, 2, and 3, so pay attention to that. You can start by taking all 3 mounts and finding the 3 rubber grommets that go in the larger hole on the mount. That's going to be the bottom that mounts down and away from the engine cover towards the engine. To install these, you really just need to start one edge and kind of work your way around, pressing that down into the hole and making sure that you get it kind of fully seated in there and that the kind of rubber outer edge is nice and flat all the way around. Now the way you're viewing the cover right here, it's pretty easy to identify which way these get installed. So it's going to be bracket number 1, 2, and 3, basically from front to back of the engine bay. So that's pretty straightforward, and then you'll bolt these in place with the black 1/4-20 button heads with washers and flange nylock nuts provided in your hardware pack. So I'm starting with bracket number 1 with this bottom mounting leg toward the outside of the cover or outside of the vehicle. I'm going to slide that under, insert the bolt, and start that nut by hand on the bottom side. And don't worry, in just a moment, once all 3 of these are installed, we'll kind of flip this over to give you a better look at this orientation. As far as tools you'll need to tighten this up and get it installed, you'll just need a 5/32 hex to drive the bolt head side here and a 7/16 wrench to hold the nut. Then taking bracket number 2, that lower mounting leg will go toward the rear of the cover and install again with that same 1/4-20 hardware. And then we can tighten that one up as well. And lastly, bracket number 3 mounts with that lower leg towards the front of the vehicle. So with the cover now flipped over, you can get a better look at what each bracket is going to look like and its orientation once installed. Just as a reference again, this is going to be the front of the vehicle, this will be the back. So you have brackets 1, 2, and 3. Moving now to the 2-liter engine cover. The only real difference on the cover itself here is that this one is going to use 4 mounting brackets. So we have all 4 over here. The grommets install into those in the exact same manner as that 1.5-liter. And 2 of these are identical on this one, so you're going to have 2 number 1 brackets along with a 2 and a 3. Using the same 1/4-inch hardware as before, we'll start out by installing the number 1 brackets, which are going to go in the 2 forward-most holes here, and they're both going to kind of angle in toward the center of the cover. As for brackets 2 and 3, they're both going to install angled in the same direction, which is out towards the passenger side of the vehicle, with the number 3 being over here on the driver's side and 2 being on the passenger side of the cover. So again, flipping it over, you can now see the orientation of both number 1 brackets, bracket number 2 and number 3. Moving now to the engine bay, you're going to want to find the threaded metal ball studs provided in your hardware kit. Specifically, you're looking at the 2-liter in the engine compartment of a Maverick here, but this installation will be the same on the Bronco Sport. So you're going to have 2 of these on the 2-liter that need to be installed, one in this threaded boss location here, and the other out on the passenger side over here. Go ahead and thread these in as far as you can by hand, and then you'll grab a 5/16 wrench to snug them up. Just a quick word of caution with these as you're getting them installed. You aren't looking for the ball stud to completely thread in and seat against this surface, as it's kind of going to bottom out on the threaded portion itself here, so a small gap between there is to be expected. Additionally, just keep in mind as you go to tighten these up that this just appears to be a little brass insert that's pressed into this plastic upper cover here, so use your discretion there. Don't over tighten these and cause any damage to that. Just make sure that they're nice and snug so that they're not going to back out over time. Now, if you'll remember from just a few minutes ago, the 2-liter has 4 mounting brackets and 4 mounting locations. So the additional 2 will be the existing 2 plastic round bosses up here on the front of this manifold, leaving you with, kind of just to recap, these 4 locations. Now in the image you see here, this is the 1.5-liter engine, specifically in a Bronco Sport, but again, this crosses over and correlates to the Maverick customers as well. So you're going to be using the 3 circled mounting locations you see here, and in all 3 of those locations you'll have those metal ball studs that need to be installed. So in the passenger side front location, right there on that aluminum mount, you'll install 1. In the passenger side rear, just behind that hose and kind of yellow clip, you'll install another, and then just to the right of that oil fill will be your 3rd and final mounting ball. With those in place and the engine cover prepped, you can now grab the cover and begin to install it here in the engine bay. Something to pay attention to, especially when you're installing this for the very first time, as these grommets can be just a little bit stiff when they're brand new, is making sure that when pressing them down that the ball is actually kind of slipping up and through the grommet and not trying to press the grommet out of its mount here. That may just require you to add a little bit of pressure over the top on this initial installation. Additionally, we are going to kind of caution you and ask you not to add any lubricant here to make it easier to get these installed, as that could also allow it to potentially vibrate and loosen up and move even off of that ball over time. So leave these dry, just use some caution and a little bit of pressure up here when getting them installed. So from here you'll take the cover and just line it up on all 4 of those ball studs. This is also the time when you want to just take a second and make sure that you have these all oriented properly and make any small adjustments to those mounting bracket locations as needed. And then once you're confident, kind of just one at a time, begin pressing this down on. Over here on the passenger side, you can just get a little better look at how kind of easy it is to access and push down from this grommet location when getting this installed. It's a little harder to see with our camera on the driver's side, but still easy to access by hand. So that's the install on the 2-liter. Unfortunately, we don't have a 1.5-liter here at this time to show you the install on, but it's using the same style mounts in the same exact ball studs. So the installation is essentially exactly the same there. From this point, once you have that installed, it's a good idea to come back after the first 1 or 2 drive cycles and heat cycles of the engine and just double check all your mounting and hardware to make sure nothing has come loose or nothing needs adjustment there. At that point, your installation is complete. So if you guys have any questions at all about these engine covers or really anything else we offer here at JCR Off-Road, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can always email us at info@jcroffroad.com or just call us at 269-353-1184.